Welcome back, guys. This is Courtney, aka Peach, here at you with another podcast. I have my good old friend Albie with me. Say what's up, Albie.
What's up? I don't have a cool fruit name or anything,
You
just
know,
Albie.
but that's cool, Albie. You're cool people, so you don't really need something else. Let me tell you about Albie real quick. Ladies, he's single. If y'all trying to holla at your boy, but no, on like everything, he's really, really good. So if y'all got any motivation that you just need to go to him and be like, "Yo, I really just need something to kind of pep me up," the Albie is your boy. Like, go in for him for all your needs because he really a boy. But today we have a pretty.
Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I got you, Albie. We have a pretty cool topic we're going to be talking about today. Something that I can definitely talk a lot about. And it's definitely something that I have a lot to talk about with my girl that we go back and forth on because we're just kind of like bump heads with it. So I decided, as always, to take it out to you guys and see what you got to say. So the big old topic here that we got today is about cheating. So I know that cheating is a pretty broad, like, thing for everyone. But today it's about if cheating is endgame for you. So if you're in a relationship and one of you cheats or your significant other cheats on you, are you automatically going to end the relationship? Is it that you can work things out, or that you feel like that's it, that's the end of it, you're never going to talk to this person again, or you're never going to be able to be in a relationship because nothing's going to be the same? So with all that being said, Albie, why don't you start us off and tell me your opinion?
All right, so the way I look at it is cheating wise, I feel like if you have a need to cheat on someone that you're in a relationship with, first of all, the essence of a relationship, the essence of dating somebody is one of two things. It's either they're going to be here for a temporary short period of time where you're here to build with each other, grow with each other, cool, or you have the intent to marry this person. With that being said, if you go out and you decide to make the decision that you want to cheat on somebody, you shouldn't be in that relationship because you've had these feelings for a while and you've decided to be acting on this emotion. So you decided to take it upon yourself and cheat on this person. Therefore, you shouldn't be in the relationship anymore. And if you do decide to cheat, I think that's endgame. It's there, done. You can't you broke that one thing that really bonded a relationship is the togetherness that promised to be with each other. It's just two pieces that go together. You try to shove a third one in, you're gonna break the puzzle.
I feel that. So what if like this is the love of your life and they just like messed up one time? Like you're totally head over heels over this person. You're like, this is the person I'm gonna marry. Like you were two steps away, and then it was like, bam, she comes at you and she's like, babe, I fucked up. Like I cheated.
Oof.
And so you're put in that position. What do you do? Like you love this girl. Like you're completely heartbroken, but you know that she's the one.
All right, so it depends on what made her do it. If she was in a perfect state of mind, if she had nothing inhibiting her, if then that means she had time to think about this. She had time to think about and plan out what she was gonna do, and she already knew the person. I would, even if it was the love of my life, if I was head over heels with this person, it wouldn't be the same after. It's like shattering a clay pot against the ground, and you're like, yeah, I could fix it.
It's hard to put that shit back together.
Yeah, it's never gonna be the same.
And you're always gonna have little chips falling out, right? Like
Yep.
little groove parts.
Yeah.
No, I definitely 110% like agree with that. And I've had this conversation with so many people, and it's like sometimes people put me in a different perspective because there are people who are like, cheating really isn't the last point for them. Like my girlfriend, she doesn't think that cheating is endgame. She thinks that if you really love someone that you can work things out, and like some people have mistakes, and if it's really that person, if it's that people just sometimes tend to mess up, and like people have their slip ups, and nobody's perfect, and it really isn't just supposed to be this malicious thing and something happened. Now in my book, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see that. I can agree with some parts of that. Like if you're the love of my life, this is that and the third. I can see how you're gonna want it to make it work. But for me, it's not about oh, I don't want to make it work. It's not like I'm sitting here and I'm like, you're the worst person in the world and I think that you did this horrible thing to me and I don't want this to work. For me, it's even if we're sitting here trying to make it work and we're trying to rebuild this trust and we're trying to create this process all over again and trying to build that, it's just like that's always going to be the thing in the back of my head. And I don't want to sit here and try to tell you that we're getting better if in the back of my head I'm always going to keep you at this certain distance because I know you did what you did. Like fully knowing that you were in love with me and like you were my person and you were trying all these things and yet you were still able to go out and cheat with me. For me, it's like if you were able to do all that, who's to say that down the line you can't do it again? What if we're like in a position where you lose feelings, or what if you're in a position where you don't really feel like you love me the same? Like how can I know that if at the best that you were with me and then you cheated on me, that this is now you're not going to be, you know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be those moments of doubt where it's like, okay, you were able to do this for me one time, how do I know that it's not going to happen again? How can I ever really trust you again after that? And it's like, what was the mindset? So we'll argue that she'll say, okay, well, how did it happen? Was it because, like I got drunk and something happened by mistake and like that's never gonna happen again? Or is it like we were in a bad position and I slipped up, or like I was flirting with someone? Because like I get flirting. I won't necessarily be totally mad about flirting. It'll kind of piss me off, especially if like I'm in a wrong mood, but it's not like end game. I'm not going to break up with you for flirting with someone because I know I can have that issue. But it's like if I flirt too much and then you end up having sex with someone, it's like it either way for me, however you put it, it's the same thing. Like you had the thought process to go in, and it's like maybe you weren't thinking, I'm gonna hurt my girl, like I'm trying to get at her, I'm trying to make things bad or whatever, like whatever was going through your head. I just feel like at the end of the day, where if I wasn't in your head, so you just weren't thinking about me, you weren't thinking about my feelings, how I was gonna feel after it, and then if you were thinking about me, so you were thinking that this could hurt me, and then you're still going to go ahead and do the actions. And for me, it's definitely a lot. Like I put cheating in the forefront because I'm going to be honest, in all my relations, I've been cheated on. So for me, cheating is a very big thing. And I always tell the person that I'm with, I'm saying like we can work through anything. Like I'm telling you, like I will be with you through thick and thin, but I'm just telling you the one thing is cheating. I will not stand for cheating. And I said, if honestly, if there's ever a point in time where you feel like things are so bad, or you feel like you're in such a position where you think about cheating and like something's gonna happen, just talk to me. Like if you want to like take a break and you want to like break up with me, I know that that's going to hurt me, but I'd rather you take the time to do that with me and like be that bigger person to say like, hey, like things aren't working out right now, like I need to work on myself, because I can get back to that. Like if we come later down the line and we're both single and you realize, hey, I want to be with you, then we can work through that. But if you cheat, if you don't even take that time out and you go out and you cheat on me being in the relationship that we're in, like it just shows me that you were too coward enough to even talk to me to work something out. So how can we grow something if you're not even able to communicate with me that something's going to happen, or like you're in this position where you don't feel solid enough in our relationship to be able to not cheat, you
Yeah,
know?
or to be able to communicate the fact that you're in a spot that this is something you're considering doing. Like for me,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I'm in a relationship, one of the biggest things I believe in is no arguments, you have conversations.
Right.
Anything and everything can be talked out in its own respects. So
100%.
if my girlfriend came up to me and said this thought ran across her mind, it wouldn't be offensive. It would be kind of, it would sting, but that shows you, okay, cool. Me as her boyfriend, I obviously have something I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play less to my strengths and making her happy, and let me play more to my weaknesses right now, because obviously that's what's making her unhappy. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
one thing you don't want your significant other feeling. And I feel like, especially if you go to cheat, one of the worst things you can be in life is greedy. And I feel like
Facts.
when you go to cheat, that is the ultimate time of being greedy. You're not thinking of how it's gonna
Yo, couldn't have
impact.
said it better myself.
You're not thinking of how it's gonna impact your significant other. You're thinking in the now of the benefits of what you're gonna get while you're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just not something. That's I can deal with somebody that bites their nails. I can deal with somebody that has, she likes to wiggle her leg around when she's sitting because she's anxious. But a habit of being greedy is something that is so much more important. because that's something that's a
Yo, that's
habit that you can't
big
break.
facts.
And the thing is, like, I get it. Some people, you're a product of your environment. Some people grew up different. You're built differently. Some
Mm-hmm.
people rather not talk about their feelings to their significant other because they feel like, listen, I feel like this is gonna be more of complaining than constructive. I don't want to let you in. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're in a relationship, it's all in. As soon as you become his and her and her, his and his, this is the point where you just monumentalize the fact that, listen, I'm gonna take down my walls. I'm letting you in. I'm letting you in. What you choose to do is what you
Yo, I'll
choose
be
to do.
speaking fucking facts right now. I'm getting chills.
But that's like, and especially with people my age, I'm turning 20 in the summer. And when people my age, nobody really understands the impact of these actions or the impact of their own emotions in the time being. Because being human, you are literally the epitome of your emotion. Every action you take is based off of emotion, based off of a thought. So like
Mm-hmm.
when you guys get into a relationship and you see this man smile and it makes you happy, you're gonna act off of that emotion, going, I'm gonna go talk to this kid. Or when you see this girl out and like how I met my ex-girlfriend, I met her at my old job. She just got hired. She looked at me. All she did was bat her eyelashes. They were fake. They were fake. But
You gonna match your fake little eyelashes, baby, but they gonna make me more.
but the thing was, like, it was the emotion that I associated with that one thing that she did.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important to understand that it's not something to mess around with. If you're going to be impulsive on an emotion, you need to think about what you're going to do and how it's going to affect other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last thing you want to do, you can fall down the stairs and bruise your ankle. You can scratch somebody. Cool, that stings. But the worst thing you can do is hurt someone's heart
Honestly,
because you can't
because
put a
that's so
band-aid
hard to
over
come
it.
back from.
Yeah, there's no neosporin for the heart. That
There's
there's
no Vicks
nothing
para la corazón, you know?
like there's no amount of vapor rub you could put on a heart to make it feel okay. You just
Mm-hmm.
can't. And the worst part is when you do that to somebody, it's not a visible pain that you're putting on them. That's not
Like
that.
that shit runs deep.
Yeah, that's a crutch you're putting on someone that they need to get over by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, rewinding a little bit. So when the person, it depends also if they admit that they cheated or you found out.
That is so true, though. Like, if a person confronts you, I feel like it helps. Like, it definitely aids it. Because now you
That's
definitely
You're
messed
showing
up here.
accountability.
Yeah, like you messed up and now you're telling me like, "Hey, I know I messed up, but I'm here to tell you and I want to fix my wrongs." Like that 100%. Not necessarily that I'll feel totally better about the situation, but it definitely helps a lot. Like people don't understand how much like if you're going to cheat and it happens, like say whatever, I don't know what reason you might have to cheat and it be okay.
Gotta be a
Obviously
good
it's never
reason.
justified, but if there's something, at least come forward with it. Like don't think, okay, if she never finds out, it's never gonna hurt her. Don't think that, because I'm telling you, yo, girls are spies. We're gonna find out. Guys, bueno, I just think that everybody what's meant to come out is gonna come out. And I think that if you do a bad deed, it's gonna come out eventually and it's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna help you in the long run. So you might as well bring it all out. And you know what? Like at the end of the day, like right, you're taking accountability. So you did the action, you have to confront with it. Like, why are you gonna sit there and hide it? You already did it. You were big boy, big girl enough to do the action. You got to be big boy, big girl and talk about it.
Yep.
If you really love that relationship enough, if you really respect that person enough, because at the end of the day, what is that? That's a lot of respect that you have for your significant other. How are you going to sit here and disrespect me, disrespect our relationship because you wanted to do one night stand or whatever it is you wanted to call it, mess up? Like, come forward with that. Don't sit here and disrespect me on top of you also disrespecting our relationship with you going out and like doing whatever sexual activities with whoever it happens with. Don't sit there and disrespect me again by not telling me and thinking that it's just not going to help. No, you better grow up and tell me what you did so we can, because then it's my decision after that point. You did that action, that was your decision. Now you have to allow me to have my decision, because I feel like you were saying before, like cheating, it's such a selfish act, because like you said perfectly. You were saying that the person is only thinking about themselves. And that's such a selfish thing. We're in a relationship now, like everything comes in twos, and yeah, there's a point where it's like you have to think about things for yourself, but I mean, that's such a step out of thinking for yourself, you know? Like, I get the whole thing about you being individual people and then coming together in a relationship, but it's like now like, we are bringing stuff together. And you bringing some other person into that relationship to damage us, like, that's so selfish. You're not even thinking about me and my emotion and what's happening and what that's going to do for us. And then for you to also just never tell me and like wait for me to find out, that's so much. And for us to try to build off of that, you know how hard that is, like trying to get back from someone cheating. Like, if you've never been cheated on, like that shit, I can't even explain to you how that feels. Like, it's just like, wow, like you really did that. Whether you thought about me, didn't think about me, you did that, and now you're not telling me. Like, whichever way you throw it, like, it still hurts the same way. Like, in the relationship, I feel like personally never feels the same way. And I know when I had this conversation with my girl, she said that, well, why would I try if all I was going to do was see her for that issue? It's like I'm not sitting here and trying. I'm not in the back of my head, I'm telling myself it's never going to work. It's never going to work. But it's like when I was in a relationship and that happened, I tried. And it was the only time I told myself, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to try to make things work because, I really care about this person. I really want to be with them. And it was maybe like, I don't know, 2, 3 months. And I honestly just couldn't, even when they were doing everything right and I was trying to be happy. When we laid down at the end of the night, like all that would hit me like a ton of bricks would be that day. It'd be like, you know what, you're still here sitting and loving me and you did that before, but what did you still do? You still went out and you created this relationship with another person, whether you fully created one or just had a sexual, relationship with them, whatever it was, like you were still able to do those actions and then hide it from me and expect that I wasn't ever going to find out, or, whatever your idea was that was going to happen, like you still did that. And for me, it was just like, I was never able to come over that. It was so hard. And I just said at the end of the day, you know what, I can't. Like, I know that you're trying and I know that you're trying to make things better and you haven't done anything wrong, but it's just like, I don't know that, like, it just, I feel like that's so hard. That's so hard to come out of. And that's why I always tell people, like, if even to my friends, like, because some of my friends are fucking bobos sometimes, I mean, like, yo, think about it. Think about it before you do anything. And at the very least, like, just break up. I mean, if you're really trying to step out that much, just break up. And I remember my girl, she had said, well, what if you don't want to lose that person? Like, what if you really want that person, but you're trying to have someone else? No, you're being selfish. You're being selfish.
All right, all
Like,
right, hold on.
no.
All right, so that I've heard this from every person under the moon, whether that be under a breakup or a relationship that's going sour or anything like that, is that idea of I don't want to lose this person. If you whoever says it, just sit them down in front of you, look them in the eyes, and ask them why, and don't let them get up until they give you a reason and not an excuse,
Mhm.
because they will say, "Oh, okay, why do you want to keep this person in your life? They make me happy. What about them makes you happy? A, B, and C that doesn't really amount to anything. It's just the fact that, especially when you're in a relationship, you're letting this person in and you're literally, not even figurative, you're literally creating this part of you that is half you and half your significant other. This relationship is not a part of you. It's in everything you do. This is not, like you said, it comes in twos. This is a us thing. So when something like that happens and people want to really attach the idea of, I don't want to lose this person, it's just because they don't want to go through the hardship of cutting off and kind of killing off that kind of person, that kind of killing this part of themselves of,
Mhm.
I'm I, I'd be scared too, but you grow through what you go through,
Mhm.
and all you're going to be doing is you're going to be holding yourself back. It's kind of, you kind of have this little fix. It's your little addiction to love. It, like, worst thing after a breakup, in my opinion, is the night of the breakup, when you lay in that bed and you have no one to say
And you're
goodnight
just like,
to,
damn.
or you have nobody to hold. That feeling sucks. But I guarantee you, 2 months from now, you'll be going to bed right after watching a YouTube video that you shouldn't be watching at 3 in the morning. You will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like
it's
it's not worth hurting that other person.
no. And even say you the person comes up to you and says, "Yes, I cheated." You made your bed. Now it's up to me to decide if you're
Mm-hmm.
going to sleep in it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not selfish. It's not selfish at all to go, "You did this. You chose to make this decision, whether it be sexually, whether it to be it's my integrity. It's my respect that you just decided it was not worth it enough to take a 2-second step back and go, I don't think this is a good idea."
Mm-hmm.
And once you hinder somebody's respect, or once you hinder somebody else's confidence in themselves, like when you get in a relationship, you are confident as hell. You are like, listen, I must have done something right that this person wants to be with me. Like, whether that be your ability to sing, dance, your ability to talk, it's that confidence that you build. And obviously, you don't want to get that hurt at all. That sucks. Nobody wants to go through this. Nobody wants to get cheated on. But like I said, it's endgame. You took the liberty to make the selfish decision
Mm-hmm.
and think about yourself. No amount of roses, no amount of chocolates, no amount of forehead kisses, none of that is gonna make me forget what you did. Doesn't matter if I forgave you and moved on, I am never going to forget what you did. And like you said, when you laid down and you guys are together and you couldn't get that out of your head, that's a sign. Your body isn't built to ignore things like that. If you have a
Mm-hmm.
splinter, if you have a paper cut, your body will remind you the entire time that you have that paper cut because
Get
it
it
hurts.
out of the way. Mm-hmm.
And when you get cheated
It
on,
hurts.
that emotional pain, your body is not going to let you forget that. Your brain is built to literally tell you, this I don't like. This is not good for you. So
Mm-hmm.
those flashbacks, those little thoughts that pop in your head, they aren't there because you're DK overthinking. No, it's you trying to protect yourself from
Right.
further pain.
It's those brains with those involuntary actions.
Yeah, you're programmed this way for a reason. It's when caveman touches fire and goes, ooh, hot. Start it there. This shit hurts. I'm not going forward with it. So think of it like that. Cool. That little thought, that's your fire. It hurts. So what are you gonna do? Stop touching it. Like when I
Unless you're a
grew
pyromaniac and you want to touch fire.
listen, then you have more problems than the cheating that you decide to put your hand in the fire. But I grew up in a Puerto Rican household. If I decided I wanted to stick my wet finger in an outlet, my parents didn't go, no, 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 don't do that. They went, go ahead, do it. You're not gonna do it again.
Right.
Boom. That pain right there. I am never gonna let that happen to me again. If somebody is gonna take the liberty to hurt me, I'm not gonna do it again. And it's like that clinging that you have to like I said, that love addiction. That's your nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta let go of it. Cause it's just gonna cause further pain. It's that's a problem. That's
Can
one
I
of the
just say, wow, like
can I get
so
snapped for a
many,
while?
so many snaps. Because honestly, I'll be like, you're 19 years old, and you just the concepts and the ideas that you're bringing out for a 19-year-old boy, for a 19-year-old man, like
Mhm. Hey,
not
listen,
even
as
saying a boy, like a 19-year-old man to have these ideologies and to have this way of concept of thinking, it's honestly, it brings relief to my heart. Because, I don't like men out here, but like there are so many beautiful women out there who would be so lucky to have you. Like, honestly, I don't even see like 27, 30-year-old men who have that way of thinking. And that's honestly so, so sad because to have that and to think about that and to like be in a relationship with a person who fully understands, who understands that not only am I a person, but you also believe that me myself am a person and you actually worthy this relationship. You're you're not going to just throw it away for something so minute, something small. You're actually going to take the time to understand how something's going to make me feel, to understand that this is not only going to hurt us right now, but it's also going to hurt me later. You just respect me not only as a person in the relationship and as your girlfriend, but a person just in general, a person who has feelings, a person who this is going to affect, not just in this singular moment for the rest of my life. I'm going to base my relationships off of this moment. To just be with a person that really understands that, that's so amazing. And for you to understand that at such a young age, it's so incredible. And honestly, it just makes me so, so happy to just be here, even as your friend, to like understand that like I keep that company around. Like that's so, so amazing.
This honestly, so in high school, anybody I tried to talk to, I was known as that guy from the movies, which is in essence the guy that doesn't get the girl. And
Mm-hmm.
I made a rule to myself that anybody listening, whether you're whatever gender you are, flip this phrase how it suits you perfectly. But this is what I say. It's one of two things when you get in a relationship, or just relationships with other people, not necessarily dating. It's gonna be one of two things or both. So for me, it's either I'm gonna treat a girl the way my mother would be proud, or you treat a girl the way you want someone to treat your future daughter. So, like I said, when you have an emotion, that 5 second little click before you decide to impulsively do something, I reflect on that rule. So if for some reason under the moon that I decided I'm not in a place I want to be in this relationship, I'm gonna go seek this attention, seek this physical attraction from somebody else. I step back and I go, what would I tell my daughter when she's sitting on a bed crying because she told me that her boyfriend cheated on her? Just that, bringing that idea full circle kind of really helps me really think about what I'm gonna do, because nobody ever really thinks about the cause, right? You know, everything comes in cause and effect. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
thinks about the cause because the cause is so temporary. Any action you take, think about it. A high five. How long does a high five take?
Seconds.
But if
Not
I
even.
high five you hard as hell, your hand's gonna be stinging for the next 15 minutes. The
Mm-hmm.
cause is such a small time, but the effect can be everlasting depending on how big of an action you just took. And like, whether your cause for cheating is I'm unhappy in this relationship, or the cause is whatever, the sex isn't good, so I'm going to go look for somebody else temporarily. Sit back in retrospect and think about the effect that that's going to have. And if you decide you want to be so selfish in that moment, think about it. Think about how it affects you. The one thing that you have in life is not the cars you have, it's not the house you have, it's not the supreme, it's your character. Think about how that action just took a chip away from your character. And if you keep doing these little things that you aren't proud of, and some people are like, well, it was a one-time thing. If you keep chopping down at a tree at the bottom, eventually it's gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
So take that 5 seconds and think about what you're gonna do. And if you get cheated on, and the person confronts you and says they cheated on you, ask them, like I said, ask them why, just to see how ridiculous of an answer you're gonna get. It can be anywhere from I was just in a really bad place to I slipped on a banana peel. But I want to, like, if I get cheated on, I want to hear your why,
Mm-hmm.
because no why is going to be big enough, or no why is going to carry enough weight to give satisfaction to the fact that you just did what you did. You decided to belittle our relationship, saying that it was not worthy enough. Our relationship, say whether you guys been dating for 2 months, 12 months, 2 years, 20 years. You just said that that little 5 second thought process was greater than X amount of time you guys been together. That right there, that's why when I say cheating is endgame, it is endgame. That's it. It takes me more than 5 seconds to tie my shoes. If it took you less time to think about cheating on me than it did for me to tie my shoes, I don't want to be with you. case closed. So if anybody out there is thinking about cheating, whether you're listening to this driving or you're listening to this making a weird face facing the window while you're in the car with your significant other, whenever you get a chance, go sit down by yourself, whether that be laying down in your bed or you're at work and you go to use a bathroom break. Go think about, give yourself 5 seconds. Instead of texting somebody back that you shouldn't be texting back, put your phone down and take that minute to think about what do you think would justify this, because it's not going to. And it'll save you a whole world of pain, and it'll save your significant other a whole lot more pain.
Now we got to go make 5 seconds a brand. The 5-second rule. Honestly, wow. Now I think that we should make a whole podcast just about why cheaters cheat and ask all the cheaters why they cheated to think of a good reason.
What ridiculous
And just
answers you
find
have
out
up
why.
there.
Because, some of us really just want to know. But now that I'm crying and my heart's hurting and all the warmth because of the amazing things that you just said, I think that I'm just going to end this here because, wow, honestly. And this is why Albie doesn't need an intro. It's just Albie. Albie doesn't need anything to follow. It's just
No
you.
fruit names or nothing, just Albie.
But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. As always, this is Let's Talk About It, and see you guys next time.